Hello, friends, and welcome to another Origins of Expressions. Today, we'll be going over the phrases right under your nose, powder my nose, keep your nose to the grindstone. What do they all have in common? They're all phrases and idioms around noses. Let's go ahead and get right to work and start this video. Our noses are generally the subject of both admiration and criticism. Some people love their nose, while others would change it if they could. Most everyone has a nose, and with this protruding feature on one's face, it is no surprise that we use it as the subject in phrases and idioms throughout history. Today, we will look at 3 phrases around the nose. So let's not waste any time and jump right into our first phrase. Right under your nose. Right under your nose means right in front of somebody, in a place that's easy to find. It's right there, right under your nose. It is common for this expression to appear as, "it was right under my nose." It describes something that a person couldn't find even though it was very close and in an obvious place. It can also describe physical objects, or it can describe an idea or a realization. It is said that this phrase dates back to at least the 1500s, but I couldn't find any examples from that time. The earliest I could find was from the 1600s. The passage was in the copy of a letter sent from the Roaring Boys in Elysium from 1641. It reads, "Can you, my worthy host, sit and see those that make you wear odd money in your hosts, under your nose triumphing?" Now we use the saying as right under your nose. The earliest I could find of right under your nose is from the newspaper, the Sydney Morning Herald, in 1856. It reads, "Well, have you detected my forgery?" he said with the greatest coolness. "No," replied the head expert laughing, "for a good reason. You never sent it. Why, there it lies right under your nose, the third to the left, and here is the original I took it from." Today, we still use the phrase right under your nose as a way to say what you are looking for was so close to you. It was right under your nose. An example sentence is, Heather searched her house for her car keys. Later that day, she found them in her jacket pocket. They were right under her nose the whole time. Well, now that she has her keys back, she can move on with her day as we move on to our next phrase. Powder my nose. Powder my nose means a woman wants to visit the bathroom, to use the toilet, to reapply makeup, or to have a private conversation with another woman. Excuse me while I powder my nose. Okay, so are you asking, where did this phrase come from? The powder room was a place in the 18th century home where someone went to freshen the powder on their wig. It was also referred to as a powder closet or a wig closet, usually in a location that was convenient for guests to use without going into the private areas of the home. Even after wigs fell out of fashion, the powder closet was still used as a station to freshen one's appearance and to powder one's awkwardly shiny nose. As time went on, the powder chair was replaced with a chamber pot and a washing basin, and later, toilet and sinks, the modern form we use today. The Victorians, known for their genteel verbal expressions, would never refer to what actually happened in a bathroom. So powdering your nose was apparently a socially acceptable way to excuse yourself from polite company, a trait that actually still happens today. Today, we still use the term powder my nose as a way to be polite and excuse yourself from a group. An example sentence is, "I'm going to powder my nose before the show starts." While they go freshen up, we can make our way to our last phrase of the video. Keep your nose to the grindstone. Keep your nose to the grindstone means to apply yourself consciously to your work, paying close attention, working hard. Keep your nose to the grindstone. The saying comes from the practice of skilled knife sharpeners when they are sharpening blades and holding the blade's edge against the stone. They are bent over the stone and their faces near the grindstone Tool sharpening workshops would have benches where grinders would sit hunched over the grindstone. They had to pay close attention to their work, as a moment too long on the wheel could cause the steel to overheat and be ruined. They literally had their nose to the grindstone. The first known writing is John Firth's A Mirror or Glass to Know Thyself in 1532. It read, "This text holdeth their nose so hard to the grindstone that it clean disfigured their faces." The phrase has been used since as a way of saying that you have to pay attention and get the job done. We still use this phrase the same way today. An example sentence is, "I've got to keep my nose to the grindstone if I'm going to get this promotion." Well, let's allow him to work while we move on. Oh, fun fact. Did you know that smell is important in identification, memory, and emotion? Yep, that's right. Smell partners with your olfactory bulb located in the front part of your brain, just above your nasal cavity. It's the part of your brain's limbic system, and it is associated with memory. We identify other people by the memory of what their personal smell is. You might remember someone specifically when you smell a certain perfume, soap, or a similar body odor. If it triggers your memory and you get nostalgic and emotional, that's because the limbic system is associated with the control of the emotional part of your brain. The limbic system also plays a critical role when paired with your olfactory system in your perception of sex and love. The smell of human perspiration and pheromones, not just artificial smells, also directly affects sexual receptors in the brain. Unfortunately, the loss of smell correlates with the decrease of sexual drive. So make sure you take time to enjoy the smells around you. It can bring you back some great memories or maybe even find you a great friend. Well, that's the information I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the origins of our idioms and phrases. I would love to have you subscribe if you did. I know, you're thinking, wow, I found a great channel sitting right under my nose. So why don't you just subscribe? It's quick and easy, and I would really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, quick question before you go. Do you know any idioms or phrases around the nose? Maybe you know other idioms or phrases on an entirely different subject. I would love to see them. Leave them in the comments below. And if I use one of the phrases, I'll give you a shout out. Thank you again for watching and subscribing. I appreciate your support. Until next time, bye.